Muddle Muppet. How are you doing? Alright, so we're going to have a look at making some maps. Now, some of you guys will be thinking, Muppet, who the fuck are you to tell us how to make maps? Well, I'll tell you who I am. I'm the guy that got a Ubisoft developer pick for one of my maps for Far Cry 2. Haha, yeah, that's right. I had my little moment of fame. Anywho, I am really hoping to do the same for Far Cry 3, but even if I don't, the main thing is it's just loads of fun making maps. So let's have a look at the map that I made. Here we go. Isn't that a beauty? Isn't that a beauty? Now, there's two things you really need to try and aim for in map design. One is the playability element, and the other is the immersion element. Now, by immersion, I'm talking about trying to create an environment that feels right, that doesn't have things in it that are out of place, that looks like it's got some natural organic flow to it, and everything is just right in that respect. So what I was going for here is obviously a train yard, and we've got a little shipping area. So this is a kind of an area where cargo would go from one place to another. It has fallen into disrepair, it's fallen into disuse, but it provides a nice environment for this game. There's three main game modes that can be played on this map. You've got your deathmatch and your team deathmatch variant, and for that there are random spawns all over the place. I'll just show you where the spawn points are. Bear with me. Right, you see those white fellas? Like that one there, that one there, down there. All those. Sorry, I'm actually pointing at my screen with my hand here. You can't see that. But all those little white marks there are different places that players can spawn. And if you are doing a everybody against everybody type of deathmatch, and you want to have as many of those as you can, and dotted about all over the place so that people aren't spawning in predictable places. For the team games, Team A is going to spawn where all these red doodads are, and Team B is going to spawn over here where all the yellow ones are. Let's just go back into the game. Now, for one of the game types, we have a capture the flag type of variant. That's one base over there, and that is one base down here. And each of those bases will have inside a diamond on this crate here. So that gives us quite a short distance for getting from one to the other. You've got a few different routes. You can sort of go down this route and take cover that way. You can, try and sneak down here. All the time, of course, you need to be watching left and right in case you have people lying in wait. Got a bit more of a wide open ground here, which people don't expect it to go down, but when we played this game, and we played this quite a bit, this map, they would. You've also got this area down here, and these trains you can jump in and take cover and stuff. I put a few sniper points in here. You can get on top of these buildings by coming up this back way. And these crates jump up onto the roof. We have a proper guard tower here. These spots here will give you access to all over the map. And also we've got another guard tower here. And we have these rooftops here that can be got up. Now you might think that's just a sniper's paradise. But what tended to happen is you would get like one or two snipers on each team, and yeah, they'd be trying to cover down here, but they're not very well protected. So although they have a good field of vision for everywhere, they're also easy to get picked off, because if I had a sniper gun here, I could see over that other side quite easily and pick off any counter sniper. So what would happen is, in fact, you would get some people playing sniping some of the time, but if you were just going to camp out sniping, you wouldn't last long. You wouldn't last long. What tended to happen more often than not is people would go down these sort of routes and try and work their way along using bits of cover. and I made for some pretty fun gameplay. Not wishing to sound arrogant, but I did put a lot of thought into these journeys and about getting some cover, etc. Now, there's another gameplay type, a domination sort of doodad, and these are the domination points here. We've got one up here, one down there, and one down there. Now, the reason for spreading these out like that was that they make the map play completely differently for the different game types. In the capture the diamond variant, all the action is going on over this area, and there's no real need to come down here. When you play this mode, though, there is. Obviously, you need to come down here to capture these, but then you've got one across here. So the map, in effect, is playing in the other direction. If one map was being north south, the other is going east west, and it gives the games a different feel. Now, when I set these capture points up, again, I put some thought into this. This capture point here is pretty open. There's if you're the guy who's trying to capture it, you can duck down a little bit and try and take some cover, but you are pretty open. There's a lot of places you can get shot from. This one here is different though. This one here is very well protected. And what that means in gameplay terms is that the one that's very open is hard to take but easy to defend. This one, however, is easy to take but it's difficult to defend because people can come in from so many different avenues. Also offers, again, an opportunity for different styles of play. So having taken this one, you might have some guys on the shore who are distracting any enemy, and somebody can come around the back way and try and get in from here, or even swim all the way around and get the ship from the other end. Now, like I said, you're trying to look at two different elements. One is the immersion of it, and one is the gameplay. Now, for gameplay to be enjoyable, it has to be fair to both sides. So you don't want to have one side with an extremely defensible position and the other side with an undefensible position, because that just leads to unbalanced play. But if you have exact duplicates on each side, well, then that spoils the immersion, because it's very rare in life that you get exact duplicates. You get what I'm saying? So this ship layout has to be different from this ship layout to keep things real. And this capture the diamond point over here needs to be different from this one. But you have to have them kind of fair, right? So you're not giving one side advantages the other one isn't getting. I try to put in reasonable amounts of detail, again, to help the immersion. So even though the players don't go down that way, I still extended the track all the way down. Just because when you're running across, you don't want to see this big empty space. Things like having a tree falling across the train tracks and stuff. What else? I mean, the game gives you some marvelous tools for making these sort of areas, but it's kind of almost hard to fail. But you still want to put in some detail where you can. Make sure the ground isn't too smooth and even all the place. That you have these sort of natural looking effects where you can. Trying to mix in immersion and gameplay all the time. So coming down here, have this load of jumble of mess of wood, but for gameplay terms, put a couple of planks there, so that helps a speedy run up. But again, it's the kind of thing that could actually happen. It doesn't look unnatural. It's not having something in for the gameplay isn't spoiling the immersion, and that, for gameplay terms, gives a nice little route to come up here undercover. Sorry. I just love these these flying about things. Now, unfortunately, it seems like in Far Cry 3, we're not going to have a couple of things. We're not going to have vehicles, which is a shame because the vehicles were fun. And we're not going to have some of the explosive effects that we used to have. I mean, do you know what I mean? That's just kind of like fun. It really adds interest into a game. I'm sure most of you guys will be aware of this, but I'm hoping some of my Gotham City imposter colleagues might have a look at this and consider it. So you might not be aware of this, but it has what they call fire propagation. So you cause a fire somewhere, and it doesn't just stay there. No, it doesn't. That fire spreads. And it felt very real. And when you designing maps, I mean, look at that. That's just fucking awesome. I'm going to wrap this up because I don't know how much interest there's going to be. If anyone does have interest, I'd be quite happy to, do a load of map tutorials about how I design the maps and what sort of things I'm looking for, what sort of things I think make good gameplay and good visual interest. I do have quite a variety of maps ranging from the realistic, like this, to the blatantly absurd, which is the beauty of having a map editor. I wish more games would have a map editor. It's just so much fun making them. And you must have played a map before in a game and thought, fucking hell, I could do better than that. But with a map editor, you can, you know. Alright, so give me some feedback, give me some comments. If you'd be interested in me doing some in-depth map tutorials, leave me some comments. If there's no comments, I probably won't be doing any. When Far Cry 3 comes out, I will be doing a load of maps, so if you want me to go over that, I will. And let me know if you're going to be getting the game, if you're going to be looking forward to it, what sort of things you're hoping from it, what sort of things are disappointing you, about the vehicles and explosive stuff, all that kind of thing. And this is Muppet out. Bye!